Well, welcome back to my diamond family. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while. Well, I had a lot of things going on, holidays and all that stuff. You know how it is. But holidays over, settling back in and ready for something new. Well, today, first let me say I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving and hope you didn't eat too much. And before we get started, I ask you to like, share, subscribe. Subscribe, I'm telling you stuff that's going to help you. I'm not telling you a bunch of um, gossip and all this stuff that people like. I guess because it's not entertainment, people don't like it. But I'm trying to tell you something that'll help you out and try to straighten your life out. Well, anyway, today I want to talk about the warning signs of mental illness in children. I know sometimes we kids act out and we always like to say, oh, they're just going through a phase. They'll grow out of it. Don't worry about it. But a lot of times it's not a phase. It's not a phase, and they don't grow out of it. It gets worse and worse and worse. And we see all kind of things that's happening in the school because we ignored the warning signs of our children. We don't like to think there's anything wrong with our children. We don't. No, I'm a parent, and I know that. We like to think our children are fine, they're perfect, and they're gonna be okay. But a lot of times they need help. Just like adults need help, sometimes children need help sometimes too. So let's not ignore the warning signs. And I'm gonna give you about 14 or 15 warning signs. And if your child or somebody you know fall into this category, share this video with the family, the parents or the family member, so they can get help for their child. Okay. First, persistent sadness that lasts longer than 2 weeks. If your child fell into a slump and they just can't seem to pull themselves out of it, or they just constantly depressed and sad, then maybe they need to go talk to somebody because they could be harboring something inside that they need to talk to someone about. They may not know what's going on with themselves and they fall into this sadness. And if you notice this lasting more than 2 weeks, and especially a month, then you you really need to check that out. Withdrawing or avoiding social events. Maybe your child used to like to go to baseball games or like to participate in baseball games or some other event they used to like. They used to like to go maybe to the fair or something or the movies, and all of a sudden they don't want to go anymore. They just don't want to go anymore. They just want to stay in their room or they want to just stay to themselves. Hurting oneself or talking about hurting themselves. If all of a sudden your child um, start hurting himself, cutting himself, or doing um, participating in things that could hurt themselves, or they just all of a sudden just start talking about um, maybe they just want to die or something. If you have a child that's talking like that, get some help for them. If you see bruises or cut marks on them, don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. Get some help for them. Talking about death, okay, we talk about that. Talk about death, the dying. They have this strange interest in death. They just go over to the dark side. It just fascinated about death and dying, or they hurting animals, or something is definitely wrong. Uh, Outbursts of rage and irritability. If you have a child that even temper, and all of a sudden it just start having outbursts of rage, and they hard to get along with, they rebellious or angry, and they destroying things, don't overlook it. They're not going through a phase. They're going through something, but it's not a phase. Take the kid and get them some help. Because if you don't, it's just going to get worse. It's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. Out of control behavior that can be harmful. They doing wild things. I mean, maybe if they're teenagers and they drive fast, or they're drinking and driving, or maybe they like to get into fights, or they like to have this behavior that could be harmful to them, like maybe some kids like to swim and they like to jump off of high cliffs or into the water, or just anything that could hurt them, that they usually don't participate in. They have strange hobbies and things they like to do. Drastic change in their mood or behavior or personality. If you have a happy child, all of a sudden he's just all moody. You can't talk to him anymore. The least little thing you said to them, they're just out of control. Or maybe they're getting high. They're smoking marijuana. Maybe they're drinking, and their personality is just changed. They turn into somebody you don't know, somebody you don't recognize anymore. I mean, they crying out for help. Don't 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 let it go on without getting some help for them. I know it's hard to find the right kind of help, but at least try. Don't just turn a blind eye to it and think, oh, they'll be okay. No, no, they won't. Maybe they exhibit changes in their eating habits. Maybe they just eat too much. They just eating and eating and eating, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. They're stuffing something. They're hiding something. Something's going on with them. Or maybe it's the other way around. They just stop eating all of a sudden. They just stop eating. They will not eat anymore, and they start losing weight and get smaller and smaller and smaller. There's something going on with them that can be a mental disorder, overeating or undereating. Or maybe they eat a lot, then throw up. You notice they're throwing up. This person had something going on with them, something serious going on with them. Uh, Difficulty sleeping. Either they sleep too much or they don't sleep at all. The body can only go so long without sleep. And then when you don't get enough sleep, you're irritable and moody and tired and sluggish. Or maybe they just sleep all the time. Every time you see them, they sleep. Maybe they used to be active and like to go out and play or or spend time with their friends or family. Now they always sleeping. Frequent headaches or stomach aches. That's what the younger kids, you know, when something's going on, maybe they're being bullied at school or something, and every morning they have a headache or their stomach hurting or they get sick and they have to come home. Something's going on. Something's going on. They have difficulty concentrating. In school, they can't concentrate. They just stare off, and you try to talk to them, and they're just not there. Their body is there, but their mind is somewhere else. They can't concentrate. They can't get the schoolwork done. They can't get their chores done. They just a shell of a person that they used to be. And they have changes in their grades at school. Maybe they were fairly good students, and all of a sudden they went from an A or B student to a C, a D, or maybe an F student. They just don't care about school anymore. They don't care about anything anymore. They just self-absorbed. They have shrunken into themselves, and they're just a shell of a person. They don't care about academics. They don't care about um, the hobbies anymore. They used to love hobbies. They used to like to play with their friends. They don't want to have anything to do with their friends, and they giving away everything they have, and they just they punching holes in walls. They tearing up everything. There's something going on with your child. And if you're a teacher and you see this, speak up, speak out, call their parents, let the parent know what's going on with their child. Because I know you having a hard time with them. If they're irritable and moody, I know you're having a hard time with them. If they're not concentrating, if they're not doing their work, you seeing a change in them. So say something to somebody. Don't just sit them back in the back and just let them sit there and do nothing. No, we got to be aware of what's going on. I know we live in a fast-paced, busy world. Both parents are working in some cases, and or you just got so much you have to do, and things just moving so fast. But slow down, take your time, and find out what's going on with your children. Talk to your children. You know, uh, turn off that TV. Turn off that TV. Have a family night and discuss with your children. What's going on this week. What are you participating in at school, or how are you feeling? How are things going? Show some interest in your kid. You know, don't just like run in and out, just never having time. Set aside one night a week, even if it's just Friday night or Saturday night, and have a family discussion. See what's going on, what's been going on during the week with your child, or if they have things they need to talk about or issues. Spend some time with them. So I hope some of this has been helpful to you. I really do. I hope it's been helpful. And like I said, if you have a child or you some one in your family is suffering or going through something, say something. Speak up. Because a lot of times children they don't know how to express themselves. They don't know how to let you know that something is going on with them. So be that voice for them. And if you like this kind of content, like I said, give us a thumbs up. It don't cost you anything to give me a thumbs up. It don't. And subscribe. And leave a comment. Now, a few people leave comments every now and then, every blue moon, they leave a comment. But leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking, how you're feeling about this channel, or if there are any changes you'd like to see, or anything you want me to talk about that I'm not talking about. So, until then, until next time, be the diamond that you are.